Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tavern of Lost Tales. Now, the reason that you're seeing this video is because in our previous one before this, it would seem that our files got corrupted with some of the sound and some of the video not lining up. So we kind of had to kind of scrap that video. So what I'm going to be doing in this video for you is just kind of giving you like a recap and what happened in that last video leading up to our next one that's going to be coming up this week. So in the video before this one, a couple of their friends had been captured by an unknown entity, and they kind of traveled through the Galboro grasslands trying to find any type of, I guess, idea or markings or locations of anything that would give them insight of where their friends may have been taken. Now, in their travel, they came across a city under siege by some gnolls called Hilford. They aided the city in trying to pretty much get rid of the gnolls and destroy them if they could. And while doing this, met a pink dragon named Lucullus, who also helped get some of the villagers away and eventually came back and kind of aided them in finishing off what current gnolls they were dealing with. From this point onward, they traveled with Lucullus, talked with him, made it to his home village where they met his mother, some of the villagers, had a nice meal, and got a decent long rest in for the first time in a while. Instead of being out on the road, they got to sleep in beds this time. As they got to know Lucullus a little bit better, they got to understand that the Gnoll attacks have been happening quite a lot in the last 2 years. And he's been doing his best to travel from city to city to try and help deal with no problems if they're having them. Now, it seemed that it just being him doing it and not having any help, the gnolls have started to become a lot more of, I guess, of a nuisance for him to deal with. And their numbers have grown a lot in the last few years. So he figures, hey, with the aid of this group, maybe we can actually start to make some headway on dealing with them. He also explained that one of the bigger cities, Tardik, has been overrun by the gnolls for the last 2 years, and it seems to be like their home base that they've made. So they kind of came to an agreement that if he would help them find their friends that were taken, they would help him pretty much destroy the main gnoll force and hopefully destroy their leader to where they would kind of disperse and not be a thing anymore in this area, making it easier on him to deal with them. So they set out. In the current episode, that the one that you're not going to be able to get to see because of the corruption, they were able to kind of get some land markings and stuff from Lucullus's patrols and whatnot. To kind of, it was kind of like a hit or miss on if they found the right camp or not, and would have to move on to the next one. But luckily, with Lucullus rolling well on his navigation and their perceptions and whatnot, they were able to find the correct camp. They were able to locate their friends. They were mildly guarded by some gnolls and some pretty big hyenas, and they were able to rescue their friends. They were finally able to regroup after a few days of not seeing each other. Ortall and Vannevar were in pretty rough shape though when they got to them. They had been tortured, starved. I mean, they were not treated well. And from this point onward, it was probably about like midday when this all happened. So they were going to travel back up to Hilford to kind of restock on supplies and whatnot, and then Lucullus was going to go home just because he likes to make sure that nothing attacks his little village where his essentially family and other villages live, and said he would meet them the next day back at Hilford, and they could discuss what kind of plans they want to do from that point. Well, pretty much for the rest of the episode, they kind of gather themselves. They do a little bit of shopping. Vannevar and Ortall kind of like get their bearings back, trying to get rid of their exhaustion. And Vannevar decides that he wants to peer in the orb again to try and look for Fulminus' friend. It does work this time. He tells Fulminus that she's doing okay. It seems like she is camping for the night or wherever she is. But in the instance that he does this, Fulminus sees a weird energy burst from the orb that Vannevar is using. And when it pretty much erupts inside their room, he can notice out the window that when it does this, there's a green beam. With the perception that he saw, he didn't get to see much because he didn't roll too high, but he can see a green beam coming from the direct southeast of them at the same time this one energy thing went off. So that was a little ominous for them. Zoya's been a little depressed with the whole situation because she's kind of in the same... She's getting into that headspace of where she sees what Lucalis is going through, and she went through that herself a little bit. So she's kind of, I don't know, in a depressing mood right now, so she's a little off at the moment. But the next day comes, Lucalis meets them there. They discuss on building a bomb for him to drop on whatever city area they decide to go in at Tardik. They discuss about scouting a little bit of the city to kind of get a bearings. They make it a few days of travel before they finally make it about 30 minutes outside the city at night. Where at this point Ortall and Qrux ride on the back of Lucalis to go scout the city at night to see what they can see. While scouting, they don't really notice too much because it is nighttime and they are pretty high up in the air. They do realize that it seems that the Gnolls have their own type of dragon or something that either they're controlling or it does whatever it wants. They don't quite know. They couldn't quite make out too much descriptions on it. They could see that a lot of the city was on fire. It's just mostly ruined. Like the Gnolls have just devastated this area, but they've made it their living home. So that's about all the intel they got. They returned to their group, told them what they saw, and from that point onward, they started to plan their route of how they're going to approach this, and that is where our episode ended. So hopefully in our next episode coming up, the videos go good. We've already checked the sounds and whatnot. We're making sure everything works correctly. And yeah, so I just wanted to apologize for not having an actual video for you guys to watch. But, I mean, it's technology. It happens. We can't help that. We apologize. But hopefully this video gives you a little clarification on what happened. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. So thank you for watching. And hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Bye.